Hey cats, what's happening? I've been going to see my mom a lot here lately, and she, she ended up in the hospital a few weeks ago. They thought maybe she had a mini stroke. She was having seizures, and she hasn't been right since. So now she's in a rehab facility, and it's a good hour's ride from here. So I've been trying to go there, every day, every other day, just to keep tabs on her and see how she's doing. But she's got a long way to go. It gets tough when you get old. She's 91, and she's really struggling right now. She's having trouble in all regards. They've been trying just to get her to sit up on the edge of the bed, and ideally to stand up on her own, be able to stand on her own, even with a walker. But even just sitting on the edge of the bed, she keeps wanting to, flip down, lay down. She keeps saying, I just want to lay down, I just want to lay down. Well, what's going to happen from here? Now, see, she was in assisted living. So from here, if she can't stand on her own with the walker, she won't be able to go back to assisted living. She'll end up in a nursing home. And that's not a good thing, because most nursing homes today are really lacking care. And they're lacking staff is what it is. So when they're short on staff, the patients don't get the care that they should be getting, and from there it'll just go downhill. So yeah, right now she's having trouble just with even like cognitive things. She has trouble speaking. She talks real soft, like almost like a whisper, and her voice is all raspy. And I can't understand what she's saying. I get my ear right down there and I say, tell me again, just say it nice and slow. And then I can kind of understand what she's trying to tell me. But it's like trying to translate a different language. She can't eat. Well, she can eat, but she can't eat by herself. So I've actually been feeding her, spoon feeding her, fork feeding her, and then she's real finicky about what's on the plate, because she only wants the sweets, the good stuff. She doesn't want to eat the actual food. But I've been kind of forcing her to eat some of it. She's got to have some, she's got to eat to keep her energy level up. Anyway, we don't know where this is going from here. We really don't. It's the situation where, and it happens to every one of us. Eventually, we're going to end up in the same boat, unless we die an early death. We get old. When we get old, it just gets to the point where you can't do anything anymore. Now, I have 4 other brothers, and then of course, they have their wives or their spouses, and their families. So everybody's real concerned about my mom. And of course, everybody wants the best for her. So, right away, the first argument is she getting the care she's supposed to have? Is there a better place we could put her? What should we do? What should we do? How can we bring her back? And that's a really tough question, because, for one, trying to decide of a better place to put, a place where she would get better care, is kind of like a crapshoot. Nowadays, you don't know what you're going to get. It could be the fanciest place in the world, with gold trim around the doors. It could look like a palace when you walk in there, but that doesn't mean that your loved one's going to get the care when they get there. Uh, and then other places are just they're just downright dumps. You wouldn't want your loved one to be there. So I don't know if you find a place where you're getting at least you're getting some care, then I think you're two steps ahead of the game. Because to try to move her around at this point, I don't think it would do any justice to her and her health condition. So it's really tough because there's family members that are just like we're not doing enough, we're not doing enough. When people get old, you can't save their life. There's no fountain of youth. We can't force her to get up and walk. We can try, but I mean, it's all up to my mom whether she has the stamina or the strength to even do it. Uh, like I said, it was hard for her just sitting on the edge of the bed, and the nurses had to actually or the physical therapists had to kind of like hold her up. If they let go of her, she would just like lay right down. And she kept telling them over and over again, I just want to lay down, I just want to lay down, I just want to lay down. But they said, no, you got to do this therapy. We got to exercise. You got to keep your blood flowing. You got to keep moving. You got to try to stand up. And she just wasn't very cooperative at all. So, as family, what can we do? We can support her, be there, just love on her. Like I said, I help feed her. We keep in pretty close communication with the nurses or the physical therapists or even the case manager that's taking care of her case there. So we know what's going on. But as far as pushing her to get better, your hands are kind of tied. There's not a whole lot you're going to do there. So it puts us in a predicament. But yeah, I haven't been doing a whole lot else because of my mom. So I've been going there regularly to see her and to try to do my part to take care of her. Like I said, I got an hour drive to get there. My other brother's got an hour drive to get there. And my other brother, he's fairly close. I'd say within 15, 20 minutes, but he's also got a full-time business that he's running, so he's not always available to be there for my mom. He has to keep his company afloat. Now here's the other question, and I mean back in the old days, you took care of your loved ones at home. They died at home. They died in bed. Nowadays, that doesn't happen so much, and why is that? That's another tough question to answer. Could I take care of my mom here by myself? It would be very difficult for me. She, has to have her diaper changed regularly now. She has to be fed. She can only eat soft foods. She has to be given meds, and I don't know. There's just so many details. It would definitely be a full-time job for me. Could I do it? Yeah, but it would be not the level of care that she's getting where she's at. Okay, let's put it that way. There's only so much I'd be able to do. I certainly can't lift her by myself, not with my back. Where at the facility she's at, it takes two nurses, sometimes three, to get her up and transfer her just into a wheelchair. So that would be very, very difficult for me to do. Now, she was living with my brother and his wife for quite a while until it got to the point where they couldn't take care of her anymore. I mean, she works, or my brother's wife works, and he's, I'd say, semi-retired. He still has responsibilities that he tends to. So they couldn't leave her there alone by herself, is what the issue started to become. She had fallen down a couple times and actually hurt herself. So, that doesn't work either. And even here, if she was here, I'd have to leave occasionally. I mean, I have to go get groceries or appointments that I have, and she'd be left here alone, which in her situation you just can't do. You can't leave her alone. So, in a house that had a lot of family members, maybe that would work because there would be somebody there all the time that could help tend to her, and you'd have multiple people that could help move her around or do things. But without that kind of help, it's impossible. So nowadays we're left with the only option of having her in some kind of facility, assisted living, where she doesn't need full care. She can move around on her own a little bit. She can eat on her own and watch TV or whatever. But in the situation she's in right now, she can't do any of that. So that would put her in a nursing home. And from that point, she'll be pretty much just bedridden. Nobody's going to help get her up. Nobody's going to do physical therapy with her. And at that point, it becomes depressing for the patient or the elderly person that's in the nursing home. And the depression just lets them spiral right down to the end until they're gone. So it's kind of what we're facing right now. Like, what do you do? How do you do it? Everybody has their own opinion, and we don't want to get into any family debates or arguments, but everybody wants the best. So bottom line is, it's just a tough situation. It's been chilly, and at night it's getting down into the 30s, and so the house stays pretty comfortable. I mean, you see I'm in a t-shirt right now, but the sun's shining out there right now, and that helps to keep the temperature up. Plus, I have this little electric radiant heater that puts out some heat. It's just to kind of, keep it from getting too chilly in here. But I have had a couple fires in the wood burner already, and it looks like it kind of went out on me. I had a fire in there this morning, and I didn't want it to get real hot. Oh, what I did on this too, you'll see around the edge there's like this asbestos seal, or it's like a rope, and I had to replace that because the other one was so worn out. And then on these glass panels there was also like an asbestos seal that went, so I pulled the glass out, cleaned the glass, and painted the doors, and sealed those up. Plus I have the new roping in here that seals these doors so it doesn't draft that much anymore. So when I shut the drafts off, the fire pretty much goes out, which is a good thing because I can really control it a lot better. Last year it was sucking so much air through the loss of the seal around the door that it would just get incredibly warm in here, and I'd have the draft shut and everything, but it was sucking air through the sides of the doors. Now when I shut them, it seals up tight. I have to really push on it to get the door to latch. So I'm not going to get a fire going in there right now, but I will later this evening when the sun goes down. It'll start getting cooler in here. The indoor temp right now is 60, almost 70, so that's good. That's perfect. But like this morning when I woke up, it was 65 in the house here, so that's a little chilly, unless you're wearing a coat in the house. I just like to wear a t-shirt or maybe a flannel or something like that. But other than that, well, I'm going to fix myself some dinner here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do to after I'm gone all day and I come home, it's like, all right, I should have got some. I should have stopped somewhere and bought something to eat on the fly, but I didn't. So now I have to come up with something here to eat. And it's not like I don't have any food. I got plenty of food. I just got to prepare something now, and I'm tired and hungry, and I don't like to do that when I'm tired and hungry. Well, thanks for listening to me today, and I will appreciate and consider your prayers, and know that I'm praying for you guys as well. If you like my video, hit me with a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.